You're most welcome to my YouTube laboratory. My name is Daudi Alaba. I'm right here in the chicken house. So I'm going to be just showing you some of the few things that I have over here in the chicken house. And I'll also be sharing with you some of the errors that I have caused, which are already here. There are things which I've already realized which are errors. Inside there, I'm going to be showing them to you, and then you will get to know exactly how you can really deal with such errors in your farm. So stick around if you're watching us for the first time. My name is Daudi Alaba. This is a laboratory where we practically share our experience about poultry farming, that has dived directly into checking on things that are not really correct inside this chicken house here. So I am right here in the chicken feed. So the feed has been served some 2 hours ago, and I have a total of 700 about 760 birds inside there. In the beginning I brought them 800, so up to right now, from the time I was brooding them, I lost about 40 birds. And you just take a clear look on everything that I have in the farm here. So I'm sorry for the noise. This is inside and birds can be making noise. There is no problem with it. The first thing that we are going to be looking at is right at my footstep. You can observe properly that chicken are already feeding. They are eating their feed. So you can see that the feed is almost over. And I am not using improved kinds of feeders. This is just wooden feeder, which is, but whatever that I've done is to make sure that I don't really waste the feed. And the size that it is put is a little bit higher, and it is the level of the back of the chicken. So it means I have hung it up. You can see this rope, it goes right up to hang the feeder up. So it means the size at which you should be hanging, in case you are using also wooden troughs like mine, you should hang it a little bit higher, or equal size to the height of the bird, that is the back of the bird. So what I've tried to do is to make sure that I minimize the wastage of feed. You can see from that other side there, the feed is not really poured down. So it is something which actually I have done my best to minimize the spillage or the wastage of the feed inside there by simply hanging them up. Because if I didn't hang them up, anytime when they are moving around, or when the chicken, they are just aggressive animals, they really run around, so they will just pour the whole thing down, and that one will cause a lot of wastage of feed. So when you are thinking that you are feeding the quantity of the feed that you are supposed to be feeding your birds with, you will be feeding them less, so that is not really so good. And the second thing that we are going to be talking about is the water system. Water system involves the drinkers and the drinking system. Let us observe right at the door. He is bringing water. Today we are giving them multivitamin because we had been giving them the deworming. We are going to be giving them multivitamin for 5 days. The kinds of feed drinker that I'm using right now, you can see, this is just 3-liter drinker. It is 3 liter, and I know it is very, very tiresome to feed to actually give water using 3-liter or drinkers. So this one happened recently when I bought the bigger drinkers. There is one which is just left. It is behind there, very far from here. So the drinkers that I bought recently, I bought about 20 of them, but unfortunately all of them, they got broken. So because of that, I can't really get new ones at this particular time, since we are still doing some kind of struggle with feeding them. And let us also observe the number of drinkers inside there. If you observe properly, you will tell me that the number of drinkers inside is not really enough. And this one happened just recently. It had never been like this. We had been putting the house full of drinkers, and this is now one of the challenges that is affecting our peak production at this particular time. So when you are setting a farm, at least try to make sure that you put a budget which is very sufficient to really make sure that all the necessities for the chicken, they are put in place. So let us keep moving around. And right here is our laying box. I told you that it is approaching 4 p.m. but the birds are still laying. You can see inside the laying boxes there are birds inside there, and also you can see, I don't know whether you can see it, there are eggs are there. some eggs there, so everywhere they are just laying, so there is no problem with that, but I've started them somehow. I'm sorry for that. And then this is our roosting patches. This one, with the time, I'm going to remove it, because in the first flock, when birds started to lay, the roosting patches were a little bit higher, and when they kept jumping, eggs kept get broken inside there, so it caused the mortalities. And then at this stage, it is still okay for them to exercise, but it is not now very, very necessary, because they can jump on the laying boxes and everything else. So I was talking about the drinking system. So when you are setting a farm, make sure that the drinkers that you use at least is automatic, because when it comes to automatic system, it saves time, and then it is also very, very important in terms of the efficiency, like when the consistency in which water stays in the chicken house. Let me tell you, I joined him while giving water. I was also there giving water, but before we finished giving water to the whole flock of the birds, there were a few drinkers which I put at first. The water got completely, we have already put for the second time. So at the time that you are setting the farm, make sure that the drinking system at least is automatic. But at this particular juncture, I'm not going to really convince you that what I've done here is really true, but I'm just very sure that it is not right, because the number of drinkers itself is not enough. Considering the number of birds inside there, what you need to see in your farm is all the birds are drinking water at the same time. So this is something that I'm going to handle very soon. I'm going to be bringing here automatic system, though there is no water source around. We have a tank somewhere down, and I'm going to look for all the possible ways to get water into the farm. And this is just what I want to tell you, which is really affecting our pig production at this particular moment. So when you're setting farm, make sure that you correct it before you go at this stage where I am right now. And considering like this is the other bigger drinker that I was talking about, it is that one in the background is 10 liters, but all of them just got broken. I don't know how, but I came to realize that there is a way that they made it. Let us come closer, and then I show you how these things can really get spoiled. You see these things, we can call, I don't know how you can call them, these sticks here, this one, that one, and that one. This is where it can stand when you put it upside down. And then when you put water inside the full, there is some kind of pressure that is exerted. There are just some damages on these spots here. And then that when there is a pressure which is lowered inside, because air keeps entering inside, that one will cause water to just be flowing around over. When you put it like this, it will not stay permanently like this. It will just be splashing and flowing around. So that one can even bring problems into your farm, whereby it can cause issues like wetting the litter, and at the end of the day you may realize coccidiosis. And with this particular flock, I haven't been in terrible moments where I encounter diseases and malnutrition. Those things have never been here, because of the managing system. Only that we are unable to really raise enough money to really supplement everything at the time. So does it mean that when you're not having enough money, you shouldn't start something like this? It is really not true. What you need to do is now, like me, what I am doing here, I'm sure even with these small drinkers, I can hit 97%. And I don't want to lie, with the first flock of the birds, I hit 97% when I was using chick drinkers. And then it is still possible. You can't wait when everything is perfect, but you can really adjust. And I'm talking to somebody who wants to start poultry project, and then you make sure that if you really have enough budget, it is very okay to put automatic system of water, so that when you are moving on, there is no problem with the when water is not inside. Giving water 5 times a day, like that is what is happening right now here. So it is a little bit stressful for the person working here, and the good thing, the person is the kind one. He is generous and very kind. For me, I can sincerely tell that all my workers that are working here, they are honest people, they are hungry people who are ready to support another African brother to develop. So it is something so amazing. I've never been around, so I have just come here because of the issues that concerns the farm, and I have already sorted most of them. What is remaining now is to set the systems in place, especially the water system and the feeding system. This is what I want to handle very time soon. And now, considering the number of birds that are supposed to be feeding in this particular feeder, it depends on the size. They are of different sizes. This one is almost the biggest one, but it's not the biggest one. There is another one which is double-sided. So that one, you can, at least if you are calculating the number of birds per feed trough, you should be able to calculate about 20 birds per trough. So it means if you are keeping, like me, about 700 birds, now you divide 700 birds by 20, so you will get the number of troughs that you need to put in your chicken house. And when it comes to the drinkers, at least this other size is bigger. You can put 50 birds per drinker at that size. And in case you are also like me, you are using these smaller ones, make sure you put more. And right now I'm not having more. And next time, like about 1 week, this house is going to be set complete. So that is what I want to share with you. These are some of the errors that normally happen. And let us see the quality of the litter. Litter is the wood saving. For me, I use wood saving. This is the bed for the chicken. They sleep on it, they move on it, they poop on it. We don't collect chicken poop from the chicken house. Let us see if you can be able to identify chicken poop here. It doesn't appear. Everything just looks uniform. These things, they look uniform, and the birds are wondering what I am doing over here. I'm just taking your photo to my people, and this is how the litter appears. There is nothing, and after 1 year, you'll still find it exactly like that. And at that same time, I will advise you should change it because it can be now a little bit dusty. And in case you are not mixing it every time, it is very important to mix it. Inevitably, there are cases where water can split. You can see birds, they are drinking water, and then you can see there is water even falling down from the chest. You can see from there after drinking. I don't know, maybe because of the type of debicking that I did, it is a little bit some kind of disturbing them when they are drinking water. Otherwise, it is still possible, even if the birds are not debicked. So what you need to do is to make sure that you change the litter. Actually, you mix it. You use the forked hoe. You keep mixing it every time when you have, like, at least twice in a week. That one will give very good quality of litter, especially on the spots where there is water. You should be very careful with such spots because pathogens, they just need some place which is a little bit warm, and when water mixes with something which can decompose, they produce some shit, which is very, very favorable for the pathogens to develop. And I wouldn't expect myself to be up to this far, but it is the grace of God. So, and I'm so grateful that with the scarce resources that I have, now you can look at the sides of the chicken house. You can observe that the chicken house is very, very spacious. That one, now at the same time, there is tarpaulin which is already hanging around. Now, why would I hang tarpaulin around? It is not a permanent thing. That is something temporary. I don't really keep it there permanently. So even this area, there is tarpaulin. So this tarpaulin, it is here to regulate the intensity of light inside the chicken house. You don't really need your chicken house to be too bright. That one is not really favorable for the laying birds. They need daylight. And you can observe it clearly that the intensity of light inside the chicken house is really not too bright. Let us observe from this side. There are traces of sunlight which is entering to the chicken house. And this one, I don't have problem with it because it is not really direct. It's just some kind of reflection which is inside. So I've just shared my experience on the wrong things that I've seen inside my chicken house. So if you like the channel, please don't really forget to put the thumbs up. And also subscribe to the channel if you are watching us for the first time. This is exactly place where you can really learn something which will help you to really develop whatever kind of dream that you want to develop for yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next episode, which is next coming soon. Thank you.